the result was 518% increase in views, 510% increase in likes, and then a 50% increase in reposts. It's worked. My promise to you is that by the end of this class, I'm going to show you exactly what I've done to make that switch over the last week. I should have mentioned that. Those results, the 500% increase in views and likes over the last week, it's just been a 7-day period. My promise to you is that if you follow these steps that we're going to go through now, you'll get similar results. You'll be able to take a post that's underperformed to turn it into a viral post, and a viral post that aligns with what you like to talk about. That is the promise, the plan. I'm going to talk about why polarizing content is the only way to grow fast. Then I'm going to go into a 5-step rewrite method to take your post from mid to viral. And then we'll go into a summary of the key steps. How does that sound, everyone? Keen? Give me some reactions. Yay. Okay, let me share my screen. In the chat, you've already got the Notion link, but I will include it again for those who have just joined later. This Notion page is going to have all the information you need for this class. Make sure you've got a long form post that you can use and do this with me. Okay, so rewrite a bad post with me in this class. You can walk away with a really good post. You can just watch if you're not able to do anything, but that's the way you're going to get the most benefit from this class. The second part is I'll do some hook rewrites. That's separate to us rewriting a whole post now. Okay, so you've got your post. I'll give you another few seconds. Please follow along. I promise it'll be worth it. I've made it extremely easy. Okay, so those were the results of the kind of revelation I've had. And this is a post that I posted about 20 hours ago. Yeah, I thought so, Chanel, just like the good old days. And yeah, this is a post that I posted about 21 hours ago, and it's been consistently just ticking along. Like this morning when I woke up 10 hours ago, it was at 100, and then it's doubled since then, slow and steady. And this is the best post I've posted that is actually somewhat aligned to what I post about in a couple of months. So it's nice to get that proof. So what am I talking about here? Why the polarizing content actually matters. So the way I think about this is think about a fence, right? And you're on one side of the fence, and like your house is there, it's the backyard. And then on the other side of the fence is someone who doesn't like you. They're a hater, or just a really annoying neighbor that you don't like to talk to, and they don't like to talk to you. Here's the problem with your content. Everyone is sitting on the fence, and they don't care enough about it to, one, like it, to engage with it, or to follow you. I'll show you what this actually looks like in practice in a second, but I'm telling you that if you're watching this, the chances that like this directly relates to you, I'd put money on it being like, I'd bet $100 that it applies to you. You're not taking a stance firmly enough. And as a result, you're getting people who are seeing your post sit on the fence and feel complete indifference. That is why they're not following you or engaging with your content. It doesn't make them feel anything. For better or worse, that is the nature of social media and threads. It's been that way since day one. Well, on Threads, it has been. And what it means when you actually take a side, express a view confidently, call it what you want, controversially, in a polarizing way, whatever, is that one, the people who agree with you engage with your content or follow you because they feel heard. And then two, the people who disagree with you, they will express disagreement, or they'll spend more time reading the post to think about it and be like, what the hell is this dude on about? And then that also generates engagement as well. And that's how the virality flywheel generates. So this post is a clear example of that, because it's literally, here are 11 controversial views I hold about the 21st century. You can click on it as well. I'll put the post link in the chat so you can have a read if you want to. But essentially, it's got 209 likes, 16.3K views. I think it'll probably end up at 250. The rest of the post has pretty good engagement as well. Some of the ideas I've expressed: hustle culture is legalized self-harm, quitting is for winners, work family is a lie, the law isn't about justice. And it does transition into a CTA to follow me. And then it's also, I didn't even plug Saints College, the free community, but I noticed this morning there are a bunch of membership requests because people were interested enough to click through to my profile and see my link in bio. So this is what I'm talking about. This is where it's at the moment with threads. And this is my latest revelation. What I want to help you do is create your own version of a post like this so that you can see if it's something that you can do on a more consistent basis. I've provided 5 simple steps for you to do that, and we're going to do it together. So step 1 is to redraft it. This is my before post. I'm going to read out a few key things here. I bet $100 that if you're watching this, your post sounds something like this, but you just don't realize it, or you're too afraid to take a stand. Express yourself confidently. And here's me giving you permission to do, because you won't know unless you try. But here is the before post. Remember, I want you to have your own post you've already posted on Threads that flopped, and we're going to improve it. Please follow along with me. So here's the hook. I started Threads with 17 followers. After around 3,000 hours, I have 13,500. It's been a lot. Some ups, some downs. I've learned a few things. None of this is definitive advice, but maybe it's helpful. Here are some thoughts. Being bold might help visibility. Some people say you need to be controversial or vulnerable, or just post consistently. It probably depends on your style. The second thought, it can be hard to keep going. Most creators don't go viral overnight. Even the big ones probably wanted to quit sometimes. I did too, but occasionally someone says something encouraging and that helps. Social media can be tiring. Back in 2018, I had to take a break from it all. Eventually I came back, mainly because I still had things I wanted to say. Threads has felt different, but I'm not totally sure why. Can someone please tell me in the chat, or you can speak up, what's going on with this post? What are your thoughts about it? What is wrong with it? Yep, it's not polarizing, but even less than that. It doesn't even come close to that. Does anyone else have any thoughts? Yeah, Sam, it's common sense. It's just boring. Some of you are writing posts that are taking a bit more of an opinion than this, but it's just putting me to sleep. Danny, it's not Bonnie enough. If you want to know the reference, look at last week's video. But that's precisely the point. It's just boring. Some of the language in this post that is making it boring is as follows. Being bold might help visibility. Might is the word there. Some people say it probably depends. It can be hard, but occasionally, I'm not totally sure why. I guess balance is important. People might still listen to you, but I'm not sure if that's the only reason. Your content is saturated with phrases like this, making it perform very poorly. Now what we're going to do is take this post and your version of your average post, and we're going to spruce it up, dress it up to make the same thing hit so much harder. Who's keen? All right, so if Yaz is the only one keen, Sam's keen, Danny's keen. All right, cool. I know Chanel's keen, but she's driving, and please don't tap on your phone and crash. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You've got the Notion page in the chat, and if Yaz could please resend it just so anyone who's joined in the last couple of minutes can have access to that as well. We're going to take this hook template. It took me X years to realize, and I will tell you in 2 minutes. Take my word for it. I'm going to be posting this at the end of the call. This hook works. It's been working very well in the last few days. It's fresh. It's new. It still works. Use it with me today and post it. Take action, please. This is the hook template we're going to use. Now, Chanel, I want you to copy and paste this prompt. This could not be easier. Copy and paste this prompt into ChatGPT. If you have Threads GPT, even better. It's my own custom GPT. It's available inside the Saints College classroom for a one-time purchase. You get it for free inside of Full Circle. Copy and paste this prompt. Go to Chat GPT. And what I want you to do is copy and paste the prompt into Chat GPT or Threads GPT, and then copy and paste the original post that we're improving. You can copy and paste it directly from Threads with the bad formatting. If you've got the original version in Notion, even better. So here's my original version, copying it. Now I'm pasting it inside of Threads GPT. I'll share my screen so you can see what's happening on Chat GPT as well. Okay, here we go. If you're following along, hit enter, see what we get. All right, so I'll read out what it's given me, and then I'll talk about some of the tweaks that we're going to make to it, because it's not going to be a perfect output. This is an iterative process. So the hook, it took me 3,000 hours to realize, and I will tell you in 2 minutes, in brackets, from a digital creator who started with 17 followers. It's okay. Again, we're going to make a few tweaks to it. Number 1, followers don't follow value, they follow energy. Number 2, there's no algorithm stronger than attention. Number 3, you grow when you make peace with being unseen. That's a good one. Number 4, comparison is a creativity killer. I agree with that one. Number 5, you don't need a niche, you need a nerve. Ooh, I like that one. That one's good. That one's going to be my top pick. Number 6, engagement isn't just a strategy, it's a practice in generosity. Number 7, you don't need a big moment, you need a rhythm. Number 8, growth will test your identity. I can confirm. Number 9, rest doesn't kill momentum, resistance does. Number 10, if it feels true, it is. Cool. All right, you get the idea. So now we've got that version, and I want you, if you're doing it with me live, to copy and paste that version into a Notion page or just wherever you like to draft your long form posts. All right, sweet. Now we move on to step number 2, which is to polarize it. You probably didn't need to go and copy and paste it, but you can just leave it in the same chat that you're using in Chat GPT or whatever LLM you like to use. Step 2 is to polarize it. And this is where we use a different prompt. This is where we make it spicy. To give you the gist of it, you are a polarizing, insightful, and unfiltered strategist who writes high-impact threads that spark curiosity, stir strong reactions, and drive engagement. You prioritize clarity, emotional resonance, and punch over neutrality or mass appeal. You channel my tone. It's direct but not obnoxious, confident but not performative, real, sometimes raw. You're not fabricating facts or forcing controversy or being edgy just for the sake of it. You're obviously not having any hate speech, slurs, or platform violating content. And so there's nuance in there. We're not just doing this for the sake of engagement bait. This is taking a stance and sticking with it. This practice has actually helped me become a more confident person. Okay. So copy and paste this prompt into the same chat that you used the first one for, and hit enter. See what happens. While we're waiting for the output, I think I used a variation of this prompt the other day, and you know how it has that preamble. So it's, okay, this is what you want, and here it is. It started off in the preamble by saying, okay, motherfucker, here you go. And I was just absolutely cracking up for a good 5 minutes, because it's like my Chat GPT knows me so well now. I was so proud of it. Anyway, here's the gist of what the new output is. Right now, it's taken the crux of the post I had before, and it's used a different format and structure. But this is what we're testing out together. It changed the hook. If you're burning out from content creation, I want to tell you something most growth gurus won't. You're not lazy. You're not inconsistent. You're not lacking clarity. You're just tired of pretending. Then it goes into more of a rant. I'll give you a few instances of some sentences here, and let's compare those to what the original sentences were in the weak version. So in the weak version, we had engaging with others seems useful. I've replied to a lot of comments, maybe 20,000 or more. That might have helped my reach, but sometimes it feels repetitive. I guess balance is important. The truth, most people don't make it because they're undisciplined. They burn out because they built a persona instead of a presence. The last one makes you feel something. The first one makes you fall asleep. We've got the right energy, but we don't have the right structure. So follow along with me. We're going to use the original prompt, but just the instructions from open the post with this hook all the way down. Okay, I'll read out a few things with you here. And by the way, this is a realistic look at how I would go about posting something. I wish there was a clean way to do it. This is as clean as we can make it though. But it's got the right hook. Clarity doesn't come before the work, it comes from it. Not everyone who supports you will stay. If your work requires you to portray yourself, it's not worth it. Your slow is someone else's speed, dream speed. Burnout isn't always doing too much. Sometimes it's about doing the wrong things. You don't need to be loud to be heard. Authenticity doesn't mean oversharing. Success doesn't fix insecurity. The algorithm is not your enemy. Self-abandonment is. There is no right way. There's only your way, done consistently. Not bad. To be honest with you, the first version I liked the most. So what I'm going to do is go to the second step, which is polarize it. I'm going to go to that prompt and include the following note. Maintain the same structure and formatting as the original post. Just change the tone of it. Same bones, new bite. It's direct, it's lived in, it pulls no punches. You ask for real, raw, and undeniable. Here you go. So the algorithm isn't your problem, your attention span is. Most people don't follow you because you're smart. They follow because you feel something. Nobody cares how consistent you are if your posts are boring. Ouch, that hurts. You'll never be original if you're always online. Also, ouch. Forget niche. What's the nerve you're hitting? The game isn't just content, it's connection. There's no viral moment, there's just momentum. Growth is uncomfortable because it's exposing. Burnout doesn't come from posting, it comes from pretending. Your best post is the one you're scared to publish. Yeah. We've got two versions there. We've got the original and the rewritten one. We'll see where we go from here. But now let's move on to step 3. Step 2 was polarize. Step 3 is front load it. This next prompt, step 3, front loading, is based on the principle that you don't want to save your best idea until last. If you're doing that, you've already lost people. The attention game is brutal. So don't hold back. Put your best stuff at the start. This is why we spend so much time talking about hooks and less time talking about the last post in the body of your content, because the hook is what gets people to continue reading. So it follows that the post beneath the hook also has to be really good. And the post beneath that also has to be really good. And it's got to be ranked from best to worst. What this prompt does is it does that for you. It rewrites your post exactly as it is, but with the best insights ranked in order from best to worst. I want to make sure that we've got the hook where everyone's on the same page with the hook. So we're just going to be using the exact same template that I spoke about earlier. And that is, it took me X years to realize, and I will tell you in 2 minutes. There we go. I'm putting in 2 years because that's when my online journey started. Importantly, we're also putting our first insight at the top in the hook. This is what we'll be doing once we've done this prompt. At this point, what I want you to do is copy and paste this prompt into ChatGPT, ThreadsGPT, whatever you're using. And then if you follow the steps with me exactly, you should have 2 different outputs of your post. Pick your favorite one, copy and paste that beneath the prompt, and then hit enter. For me, there were some really good points in the first version. I loved you don't need a niche, you need a nerve. If it feels true, it is. Oh, it's so hard. Paradox of choice. Look, I'm going to go with the first one, believe it or not. And obviously, results will vary because the first one, like ThreadsGPT, is already trained on me. So the output's already going to be really good. I imagine that when you use the polarize prompt, it's probably going to be better than your first output if you've just got a basic GPT. I'm not hating on your own version, but because ThreadsGPT is really good. All right, so we've got our prompt to reorder the insights, and we've also copied and pasted our favorite version. So it's extracted the key insights from each main mini post in order. And now what it's going to do is reorder them from best to worst. You don't need a niche, you need a nerve. That is the one that it's ranked as number 1. Number 2, followers don't follow value, they follow energy. And number 3, you grow when you make peace with being unseen. Growth will test your identity. Rest doesn't kill momentum, resistance does. Comparison is a creativity killer. There's no algorithm stronger than attention. If it feels true, it is. Engagement isn't just a strategy, it's a practice in generosity. You don't need a big moment, you need a rhythm. So now it's restructured it with that exact order of posts. I'll wait for that output, but as you can see, it's looking pretty good. We've got 2 to 3 sentences per mini post, and excluding the actual insight itself. They're in the right order. Then we have a nice summary CTA after that. And then it's also got a CTA to follow me framed as a benefit. That last part's really important, framed as a benefit. Most people will just go, follow me if you like this post. That is a fence sitter type of statement. I don't care enough to actually go and follow you. Say something like this instead. If this thread made you pause, reflect, or feel something, imagine what the next one will do. I'm not here for clout. I'm here to write things you didn't know you needed to hear. Follow me so you don't miss out on what's coming next. If you like this post, give people a reason to. Normally, it's going to be through FOMO. My next post is going to be really good. Chances are you'll miss it if you don't follow me. Call it polarizing, call it confidence. I don't care. That's the kind of tone you need. If you really believe in your shit, you're going to use this tone to express your perspective. Quick aside, think about the meaning of a word follower. People follow leaders. Now, leaders are flawed, but they're also confident in their convictions. If you want to be a leader where people follow you, this is what it takes. Step 3 is to reorder it. Step 4 is to personalize it. There is some actual manual work coming soon, but for now, we've got another prompt. So step 4, this is a really good one. This prompt is essentially, it's going to rewrite your post using 3 of your favorite writing influences and your own voice. Insert influence 1. So for example, I'm going to put Alex Hormozy. Influence 2, I'm going to put Dan Coe, and then influence 3, I'm going to put, I would be putting Naval. I'm going to do Tim Urban. Those are your 3 influences, and then have 3 adjectives to describe your own writing style that you like. Recently leaning into the chaotic vibes, I'm going to put blunt, but also warm. It's a unique mix, but hey, we'll roll with it. That's all you need to do to finalize this prompt. Now go and add it in, see what we come out with. There's a possibility that the version we've got here before the output of this prompt will be better, but we'll just see what happens, and we can come back to the original if we want to. And it was being a bit naughty because I actually started to reorder it. Pretty sure there was a point in there that told it not to reorder, but I'll make it even clearer. Do not reorder the posts. See what happens. All right, it's hallucinating. So it has reordered them. People don't follow value, they follow vibe. Attention isn't gravity. Attention is gravity. Algorithms just follow. You won't grow until you're okay being ignored. Comparison scrambles your internal compass. You don't need a niche, you need a nerve. Engagement isn't a tactic, it's a test of care. Forget going viral, find your rhythm. Growth feels like you're losing yourself. Burnout isn't too much about. Yep. So if you're following along, have a read of both versions and pick the one you like the most. For me, I'd actually love your take on this. I'm going to read out 2 mini posts, and you can let me know in the chat which version you like better. Version A, you don't need a niche, you need a nerve. What are you willing to say that most people won't? That's what makes you memorable. That's what people follow. That's version A. Version B is you don't need a niche, you need a nerve. Nobody remembers the content creator. They remember the one who cut through. Your job isn't to be liked by everyone. It's to make someone feel something sharp enough they never forget you. Version A or version B, let me know in the chat. All right. Majority rules, version B it is. So for whatever reason, it decided to ruin my order from before. Now I'm going to do that front load thing again. If your order is the same as it was, just use that version. All right. So while I'm waiting for that output, now it's time to edit it and tweak some of the wording to make it feel more like your own. We don't want to add anything in there. We just want to make some 1% tweaks that add up to 5 to 10% difference to take ownership over it. And this is what we should have for our hook. It took me 2 years to realize, and I will tell you in 2 minutes, you don't need a niche, you need a nerve. And that's the hook. Next mini post. I might include a little emoji to point down so people know there's more going on here, because that could stand alone as its own post. All right, here, I'm just going to copy and paste my output. I'm going to explain a few tweaks to make it sound a bit more like me. I've already trained my thing to sound a lot like me anyway, so it's probably going to be pretty accurate. Just stick to this structure of the hook. It took me X years to realize, and I will tell you in 2 minutes, first insight. Don't add anything else. This works. Secondly, what you've got here is your hook. Beneath that, your first mini post is the actual content for that insight itself. You don't need a niche, you need a nerve, little pointy down emoji. And then the first mini post will read, nobody remembers the content creator, the one who cut through. Your job isn't to be liked by everyone. It's to make someone feel something sharp enough they never forget you. Then next mini post beneath that is the second insight. Burnout isn't about too much output. It's about too much pretending. I'd make this shorter. Burnout isn't doing too much. It's pretending too much. It also hits harder, and it's just something that I would have tweaked anyway. I'll do one more example of something I tweak as an example of how you can further personalize this. People don't follow value, they follow vibe. Initially, this was energy, but the alliteration of value and vibe sounds nice. It reads, you can drop a thread with the secret of the universe, but if you feel dead inside while posting it, they scroll right past. The signal isn't what you say, it's how alive you sound saying it. So all of this, I really like the sound of, except that you can drop a thread with the secrets of the universe. It doesn't sound like me. You'll know if it sounds like you when you're reading it. I don't know how else I can explain it. It's like going against the grain in a way that isn't good. You'll just know. So I'll tweak this to make it read the greatest post is shit. Instead of you can drop a thread with the secrets of the universe, but if you feel dead inside while posting it, I'm going from that to the best post is shit if you feel dead inside while posting it. It's more like me. Those are the kind of tweaks I would go and make for the rest of the post. Now, question for you, let me know in the chat. I can go and post this and show you the kind of formatting things I would do to tweak it and finalize it and then actually post it. Or I can skip kind of to the summary of this portion of the class and then move on to the hook rewrites. So let me know in the chat. Option 1, format and post it and then continue with the rest of the class. Option 2, skip to the summary and move on. Option 1, post it. Option 2, move on. A few more answers, couple ones. One more. All right. 4 ones, no 2s. Let's post this mofo. If you are following along, please actually commit to posting it as well. Don't overthink it. This is a good practice in just like shipping it, or as step 5 says, send it. And this is how we do it. All right. So go to Black Twist if you've got it. Black Twist is going to be best because 1, we partner with them, but 2, we partner with them because of the fact that I've got the thread specific features, including a preview window that shows you what the formatting looks like on threads. And I don't think any other scheduling platform has that. And that was one of the reasons why I never used a scheduling app before. So I'll come back and change my sharing to this window. There we go. Black twist, right. Cool. I'm in black twist. If you're on your phone and following along, and if you don't have black twist, just get up the actual posting window within Threads. It's preferable to do it either in black twist or on your phone, because the posting window on Threads desktop doesn't format it how it looks on a phone. Why does that matter? Because most people will be seeing your post on a phone, and I think it's really important to be able to see what it looks like for most people. Formatting is minor, but it's not. Anyway, here's what I'm going to do. Got my post here, so the hook. And what I mean with all this posting window stuff is here, post preview, click on that, and you can see what it looks like when it's posted on the timeline. And this is what it looks like when you click on it on desktop. All right. And then we go down to the next one. Again, I'm always checking what it looks like in the posting window. Cool. Next one. So far, so good, nice and smooth, but there will be something that I'll need to change, I imagine. If not, it'll be a nice change. Okay. So for this one, again, it's minor. It's just a formatting preference for me. But as you can see, this first insight, burnout isn't doing too much. It's pretending too much. Ideally, I'd like that to just go to one line. But I don't know if I'll be able to. Maybe if anyone has suggested rewrites, you can let me know how I can cut that down. Someone can help me in the chat. That would be great. Another insight here is this final thing, the final sentence in this one. Try telling the truth. You'll be shocked how energizing it is. I'm going to put that over onto 2 lines with a bit more white space. These 1% tweaks really do make a difference. If you're looking at it live and visually, compare this. It looks fine. I just think the post looks much more open when you add in a bit of white space and separate the 2 sentences. Burnout isn't overdoing it. It's faking it. People don't follow value. They follow vibe. Best post is shit if you feel dead inside while posting it. Growth feels like losing yourself. When people started calling me the Threads guy, I flinched. Then I remembered labels only stick when you stop moving. Keep evolving, stay slippery. I've grouped each line into blocks of 2. Each block represents its own unit, its own isolated idea within the mini post itself. So, for example, but then I remembered ellipsis or 3 dots, but then I remembered dot, next line with no white space, labels only stick when you stop moving. It's its own idea. Then the next ideas are separate. So I've included white space to separate them. Keep evolving, next line, stay slippery. That's what's going through my mind when I'm formatting. Keeping the ideas grouped within each mini post. If that's gone over your head, ignore it. Hopefully it makes sense. Next one, number 5, you won't grow until you're okay being ignored. Great point. Another point here. So we've got 4 sentence fragments. They're incomplete sentences based on the proper rules of English. Obviously, we're not adhering to that on Threads, but this is a nice chance to create a little listicle. You post, next line, no one cares. Next line, you post again, next line, still nothing. It creates a nice rhythm in the post. And so far, we haven't really had any of these sentence fragments except for the previous one where it said, keep evolving, stay slippery. It's a nice pattern interrupt for the readers because they're getting sick of reading the same kind of sentence length, but then you have these sentence fragments and it's a nice way to wake them up. These are easy sentences. I can keep reading this. I've just changed this so that it's on 3 lines instead of 4. It just looks better sometimes. Then this final sentence, eventually you stop needing applause. That's when the writing changes. That's when people start listening. That was initially just all grouped together. Now I've changed it so that it's broken up a little bit more. You guys finding this interesting? Hopefully it's useful for you to see behind the scenes stuff. Here's another point, number 6. And also, I should have mentioned, glad you like it, Brandon, don't be afraid to cut stuff. If you're ever in doubt, delete it. So I'm looking at that previous mini post and I'm thinking, it's getting a bit long. Now I'm going to be reading it out loud, actually out loud, not in my head, because when you read it out loud, you'll notice things that shouldn't be there. And I'm going to try to delete one of these sentences. The early game is brutal. You post, no one cares. You post again, still nothing. Eventually, you stop needing applause. That's when people start listening. I think I can delete that's when the writing changes. The early game is brutal. You post, no one cares. You post again, still nothing. Eventually, you stop needing applause. That's when people start listening. I'd say that's tighter, works better. Looks much better too. Next one. Number 6, comparison scrambles your internal compass. Scroll long enough and you forget why you started. Their win makes you question your own path. Shut it off, go touch grass, make weird stuff again. If it weren't for my job and putting me in the middle of nowhere for these random shifts at 4 a.m., the whole touching grass thing would be a very foreign concept. All right, so we're going from number 5 to the next one, which is now, if it feels true, it is. And this is very much in line with what we've spoken about today, obviously. I can't emphasize this enough. Your best posts are the ones that scare you. Give me a reaction in the chat if just before you're about to post something, you have this internal monologue where you're like, oh, I don't know, this, like, it's uncomfortable. I don't think I should put this out there. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one. That means you're on the right track. It's the vulnerability in that post where you're not oversharing, you're sharing something people need to hear, but you haven't seen someone else talk about it. You're leading the way in actually talking about it first. That's why it's uncomfortable, because you haven't seen it done before and it could go either way. Latch onto that feeling, get used to it. In my experience, and evidently in the experience of everyone who's just commented in the chat, that means you're onto something. And chances are you'll get a lot of beautiful feedback from whatever you're about to post because it's resonated with people. The ones you almost delete before hitting post, that tension, that's where the real stuff lives. And we've got 3 more points here. Next one, attention is gravity. Algorithms just follow. Everyone's searching for tricks, templates, timing hacks, but attention doesn't come from playing games. It comes from presence. When you're actually here, people notice, even if they don't know why. It doesn't resonate with me that much. It feels a bit weaker than the rest of them. So goodbye. Engagement isn't a tactic. It's a test of care. Okay. If anyone knows me even just a little bit, I think you'll know what I'm going to tweak about this one. Engagement isn't a tactic. It's a test of care. You want connection, earn it. I've left 1,000 comments, not because it's good for reach, but because people matter. One human at a time. That's how you build something that lasts. Something just isn't right about that. Can't quite put my finger on it. I think the last time I said freaking was when I came out of the womb. So you want connection, earn it. I've left 20,000 plus comments, not because it's good for growth, but because people fucking matter. One human at a time. That's how you build something that lasts. Let's see how this one reads. Forget going viral, find your rhythm. This isn't a slot machine, it's a cadence. Some posts will pop, most won't. If you stay steady long enough, people start showing up. Less is more. So now I go into my summary post, and this is just a TLDR of the key insights that I've shared. Initially, it read summary, 10 lessons from 3,000 hours on threads, make it valuable. Summary, instead, we started with 10 lessons, now I've got 7. 7 lessons from 3,000 hours on threads. See what the formatting's like. It's all good. So we've got stop pretending, say what others won't, vibe better than value, growth gets weird, you won't grow until you're okay being ignored, silence is part of the game. If it feels true, it is. Engagement isn't a tactic, it's a test of care. That's number 7. And then at the bottom there, I've just put one last thing because I like Steve Jobs and that's what he says at the end of his presentations. And it also gets people to continue reading and not just sign off. And here's my CTA framed as a benefit. If you felt something reading this, imagine how the next one will hit. I'm not here to go viral. I'm here so you stop feeling alone in all of this. Follow me if you're tired of surface level takes and ready for the real. I'm going to tweak it a bit. All right, I'm just sharing the mental process here. If anyone's read the book, as if Influence by Robert Cialdini, there are those, I think, 6 psychological principles to actually influence people. One of them is consistency. I'll show you what that looks like in practice here. My third insight was people don't follow value, they follow vibe. So now in my CTA, I'm going to say something like, did you vibe with this post? Question mark. Actually, no, I'm going to make it even more clear. Remember the third lesson? People don't follow value, they follow vibe. If you vibed with this post, follow Lennox _ I'm here so you stop feeling alone. Most people will leave it at that. Most people will leave it at that. Just last sentence would be follow Lennox Saint. I've actually noticed that when you include a reason for a request, regardless of whether the reason makes logical sense, it still actually gets people to take action in the way you want them to, more so than when you don't give them a reason. There was this study in the book, and the example was someone's at the back of a queue and they want to use the printer. They did this test where in group A, the person who wanted to skip the queue just said to the person at the front, oh, can I please use the printer next? Left it at that. The rejection rate was very high. Group B, can I please use the printer next because I really need to use it? It's the most stupid reason ever, but it still got people to say yes. I can't remember the specific statistic, but many times higher than group A. How does that relate to what we're talking about? Give people a reason to follow you. Like I could literally say, because I'm awesome. And I honestly think it would make more of a difference than me not putting that in there at all. This is what I'm going with. Summary, 7 lessons from 3,000 hours on threads, 1 through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One last thing, ... next post. Remember the third lesson. People don't follow value, they follow vibe. If you vibe with this post, follow Lennox Saint, because threads needs more raw content. It doesn't actually make that much sense. It's okay. Once again, I'd put money on this CTA converting much higher because there's that reason there than if there was no reason at all. The final thing is I'll be scheduling it so it posts in a couple of minutes. Don't worry, sticking to my word of posting it live. What's the time? And what you can do on Black Twist, which is really neat, is this feature called follow up. It allows me to plug Saints College after certain conditions are met. So I'll show you what that looks like. Here, my kind of plug is, by the way, I wrote the book on this stuff. Now I'm helping 2,000 plus creators gain their first 1,000 followers on threads, join them for free, and then include plug to Saints College. I'm just going to include that. I would normally spend a bit more time optimizing the CTA to make it more relevant, but it's good enough and I just want to send it. So I'm going to activate that. In terms of the conditions, I could post it after 69 minutes or any number of minutes. I could do it after number of likes. In this case, I'm going to do number of likes and just set it at 50. What this means is that once this post gets 50 likes, if it does, I think it will, then this CTA will be plugged beneath the post. The idea behind that is that there's this theory that I'm almost certain, like 99.9% is true, that basically any link in a post is going to reduce your reach. That's 100% true if it's in the top post. And as I said, 99.9% sure it's true if it's in any post beneath that. So that's that. We're all good. It's 9:30 now. I'll put it to 9:31, schedule in 1 minute, and shipped. So that is how you take a mid post and turn it into a viral one. Big lesson. To recap, however you want to call it, I don't care. But point is, the polarization is key. Just avoid having fence sitters for your content. That is not how you grow on threads. Get them to join your site by writing confidently. The 5-step rewrite method is redraft it using that prompt, polarize it, front load it, personalize it, and then send it. We've looked at the live example. And remember this key point that the leaders pick a side. If you believe something, scream it loud enough for the right people to join you on threads. So we're raising the price of Full Circle from $83 to $113. If you are one of the next 5 people to join, you'll be able to secure it at $83 per month before it goes to $113. And then we'll be raising that to $169 eventually. So that annual is just going to be more of a no-brainer for people who join later on, because they get 3 times faster results. So I'll put that link in the chat. If you are interested, go check it out. Oh, Yaz has already beat me to it. Thanks, Yaz. And now onto the hook rewrites. I appreciate you all very much for still hanging out with me. Yaz, did you put those on the other Notion page?
I put them in the college class 51.
Okay, cool. Add 2 versions. So I'll go to the...
Sorry.
That was my bad. All right.
There was only one. So if you want your post rewritten, add it now.
Just the hook, by the way. I'm not rewriting the full. We've done enough for today.
We have.
Cool.
Sam getting in there last minute.
All right. Where are we?
We're going to do 3.
We'll do 3.
Okay, one more space, guys. Come on. Get it in. Let's work.
I can't edit my own Notion page. The irony is not lost on me. Chanel submitted one when the call started. I don't think you joined yet.
I already added it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will translate over.
Sam, if your phone dies before he gets to your hook, this will be re-uploaded. So you'll have the rewrite still.
So if you're still here, I'll get to that. Anyway. All right. Rewrite. So we have Chanel's post, and I'm just going to get the gist of this. So here's the hook. Saw a post that said, it's sobering to realize that people you love genuinely do not like you. That does hit. First time I had to sit with that truth, it damn near broke me. That's a unique kind of grief in realizing that no matter how much you love someone, they still see you as unworthy. Their words, their actions, and sometimes their silence are proof they don't respect you, value you, or see you. I learned this the hard way the day my mother called me an unfit mother and a mediocre woman. I remember reading a post about this last line, Chanel. It does hit different. So I'm just going to get a little bit of an understanding for what is going on in this post. Okay, cool. I'm glad. My memory is not that bad after all. When I read those words, the last bit of hope I had for our relationship to improve died. Cool. So I'm getting it's a story post is what I'm gleaning. And then we've got some insights from Kendrick, Substack, Unspoken Truth About Healing. Sweet. Got the gist. What I've done is included 3 hook templates. And the gist of what I'll do with these hooks is take one of these templates and replace your hook with a specific version of the template, because I know that these hooks work. And that's what I'm learning more and more these days. I just haven't practiced it enough. That if you've got a hook that works, you've seen it work a number of times, just use it. If you care about growth. If you don't care about that at all and are happy to not get the views, the likes, and the followers, that's totally fine. But if you do, try these hooks. So after having an understanding of your post, Chanel, this is what I would use. I'm leaning towards the first one. Now, the age parts, I'm going to let you fill out, Chanel. Age 29. I felt lost, broke, and perfect. And you can change these adjectives, Chanel, just based on what actually resonates with you. I'm filling in the blanks based on the post. At 28, I was lost, broken, and unworthy. I'd probably change this to a different one. If you do have ideas, Chanel, please put it in the chat. Now at 35, I live with, so you have used the word peace, purpose, mission, and peace. So here's the rewrite. Cool. So Chanel, this is what I would do. Post it honestly, if you want to leave it exactly as is, but with the following tweaks I'm about to mention, I think it'd be pretty interesting to see how it goes. At 28, I was lost, broken, and unworthy. Now at 35, I live with purpose, mission, and peace. If you're in your 30s, you need to see this. Goes into the next one. Notice what I've done to the first mini post now. I'm actually using everything that's in the hook, but deleting the first 2 sentences because it just flows nicely. If you're in your 30s, you need to see this. And then next mini post. There's a unique kind of grief in realizing that no matter how much you love someone, they still see you as unworthy. And Chanel, can you give me a thumbs up or something in the chat to let me know that you've gotten? I'm glad to hear that, Angelica. Thanks for staying along for so long as well. It's been a big class. Chanel, have you got a screenshot of this or do you want me to put it? Okay, number 2, Sam, let's check this out. 8 billion of us, I have already read this from 2 weeks ago. But how many die with their dream and stories buried inside? Not you. I'll tell you why. But first, today would have been my grandfather's 94th birthday. He found his truth in love and faithfulness. 3 years ago, I stood in his kitchen and asked him, yeah, okay, we've got a storyteller. Then you understood your mission, story, wisdom, message. Nice and crunchy. So it's synthesizing some of the lessons from your grandfather, and it's also reflecting on a story that you had with him in his final moments. All right. So now that I've got that context, I'd go for this one. Authoritative age drop with value. Sam, if you're happy to drop your age in the chat, please do. If not, no biggie, just add in your number whenever you want. Thanks, Sam. Sam, I'll put it to you actually, because you would just know this much better. What is something, how would you put that story into one concise moral, like key takeaway that it doesn't need to be perfectly worded or whatever, just first thing that comes to mind? What's that thing that your 90-year-old grandpa taught you?
Can I share here in the
Please.
comments? There are many things, but one precise thing, the message is really to not wait longer to go out there and share your truth. And it ties it up with showing up and connecting your message to the people that need it. Because you don't want to end up at 90-year old and thinking about the visions that you still had but was not able to materialize it.
That's the gist of how I would summarize what you just described to me in a way that's optimized for threads. It's punchy and it wakes you up. You will die soon. Start living now before it's too late. I'm 33. If you're in your 20s, here's something my 90-year-old grandpa taught me. You will die soon, but you haven't started living yet. Start living now before it's too late. You will die soon, but you haven't started living yet. That puts a big question mark in my mind. I think I know what he's getting at, but I'll continue reading to find out. Good question. Put a 1 beforehand. If you were going to do a bunch of different insights or takeaways, just put an arrow there and get people to continue reading by putting that little emoji down to show there's more to be read here. Today would have been his 94th birthday. You can delete this mentioning your grandfather because you've already mentioned it here. And then continue with the rest of the post as is. I see what you mean. He would have just turned 94 a few days ago. During his whole life, he asked one powerful question. I'd actually put this in the next one. Remember, if you can rehook people by getting them to continue scrolling to the next mini post, such as ending one on a cliffhanger with a question, I'd always do that. But yeah, that's your rewritten hook, Sam. Go ahead, post it. I'd honestly be shocked if it doesn't perform much better. And to wrap up, how's the state of inbounds and outbounds on threads? All right. What Sal's referring to is how much inbound engagement do you need to do versus outbound engagement. So inbound is people commenting on your posts. Outbound is commenting on others. Essentially, the more you grow, outbound is when you engage with other people's posts. Inbound is when you engage with people who have engaged with your posts. The more you grow, the less of a need there is to do outbound, and the need to do inbound stays the same unless you get to 50 or 100K followers and above, where it's literally just impossible and you're getting enough engagement anyway. But the more you grow, the less of a need to do outbound engagement.